Chapter 14. Ghost Snot. Down in the darkness of the cellar, Stella stood silently, listening to Soot's real-life horror story. "It was a very long time ago now," said the ghost. "I was so little, me master thought he could push me up any chimney, whatever the size. He knew this house had this maze of chimneys and little tunnels, so I was the perfect lad for the job. Weird thing was, I had this really funny feeling when I walked in the door." Soot became lost in thought. The light from his body cast shadows on the walls of the cellar. The shadows moved and danced as he spoke, painting pictures from his story like illustrations in the book. "What do you mean, a funny feeling?" Stella was intrigued. The ghost pondered for a moment. "Dunno, like I'd been here before or something. But I couldn't I?" Stella searched her mind for an answer. As he'd been abandoned as a baby and grown up in a workhouse, it seemed impossible that he could have ever set foot in a great country house before. "I wouldn't have thought so," she replied. "Nah, I suppose you're right, my lady. Still, it was weird. So me master pushed me up the chimney and I was doing me brushing with me odulum flip." "Brush?" "Yeah, with me brush. Me master had just gone out for a smoke. Then, Lord love a duck, I noticed me bum was getting really hot." "Hot?" asked the girl. "Yeah, that's what I said. Hot. I looked down the chimney and I saw, and someone had only gone and lit a fire." "Who knew?" replied Stella. She felt for the poor boy. Who could have done that? "I dunno, never saw 'em. I cried for help, but no one come running. I guess they couldn't have known I was up there. Before I could say Jack Sprat, there was all this smoke coming up. The chimney was so blocked I couldn't climb it. I was stuck. I was a goner." That's a horrible story. The little girl was imagining the whole scene in her mind of the hundreds of ways someone might die. This was a particularly horrifying, being trapped in a tiny space as thick black smoke enveloped you. A tear welled up in her eye and traced a line down her coal-blackened face. "You're crying again, me lady. I don't like to see a pretty girl cry." Somehow this made Stella cry more. She cried for Soot, her parents, and finally for herself. "And that's me story, me lady." The little girl dabbed her eyes on her nightdress and took a deep breath to gather herself together. "So, why did you stay here at Saxby Hall?" "I didn't have nowhere else to go, did I?" replied the ghost. "Didn't have a home, didn't have a name, did I? So I couldn't even try to find me family in that place up in the clouds that they tell you about in church. So I just stayed here, going up and down the chimneys all night." "I knew Saxby Hall was haunted," exclaimed the girl, "but my mother and father didn't believe me." Soot smiled. "Well, the thing with grown-ups is they can't see us ghosts." "No?" The girl was intrigued. "Nah, when you grow up you stop believing in magic and all that, so you can't see anything that isn't really there anymore. Your mind has to be open like a child's. How old are you, my lady?" "I'm nearly 13. Stella was very proud of the fact. Like most children, longed to be older than she was. Sometimes she would dream of being 16 or 18 or 21. She would imagine all the things she could do when she was grown up. Drive a car, have a glass of champagne, stay up until dawn. "Oh dear, oh dearie me," said Soot, shaking his head. "What?" "When's your actual birthday, my lady? I need to know the date." "My birthday is Christmas Eve. And what is the date today?" What with the crash and falling into the coma, the girl had unsurprisingly lost all track of time. I'm pretty sure it's 21st of December today, so you'll be 13 in just 3 days." "Yes, and that's good, isn't it?" asked the girl. "No, my lady. You can see me all right now. You're still just a child, but when you turn 13, it'll all change." "I don't believe you," said Stella sharply.
There you go, retorted the ghost. You're still only 12 and already you're saying you don't believe in summer.
But, but,
Excuse me.
and with that, Soot put a finger up one of his nostrils and blew on the other. A globule of glowing mucus landed on the floor. The girl had been brought up to be a lady. To use the correct cutlery at mealtimes, to ask to be excused from the table, and to blow her nose on a lace handkerchief. She'd never seen such disgusting manners.
Do you mind? She said, rather offended. Keep your hair on, milady. It's only a bit of ghost snot.
With that, he changed nostrils and blew another globule onto the floor.
That's revolting, complained Stella. Do you not own a handkerchief? A what?
Clearly not. And now there's ghost snot all over the floor of the cellar. And I'm not wearing any shoes. Soot stared straight at the girl.
Look, milady, it was awfully nice to meet you and all that malarkey, but I don't think the two of us are ever going to be friends. The boys I grew up with in the workhouse weren't bothered by a tiny bit of snot.
It's hardly tiny, protested Stella.
In fact, there was much worse than all over the floor in there.
I shudder to think.
One boy dropped his trousers and did an almighty.
I don't need to know, thank you, replied Stella, cutting the boy off. Soot looked at Stella. There was an ocean of difference between them that seemed impossible to cross.
I think it's best we say goodbye.
And with that, the ghost turned around to disappear back up the coal chute. Wait, pleaded the girl. Please.
What now, milady?
Sighed Soot. I need your help.